You are listening to the Stick and Hack Show, a show about golf and life from a stick and a hack. Now, here is your host, Adam Grubb and Mike Ryan.
All right, everybody, welcome in. It is the Stick and Hack Show. I'm your host, Adam Grubb, the hack, and that's Mike Ryan, the stick. Mike, how are you?
I am ecstatic.
All right, so today you're not a stick.
I know.
You are just
perfectly fine with that.
You are just a hack among hacks, sir. Why is that? The guest on the show today is Mr. Gary Player. I will repeat that because it bears repeating.
Yeah.
Mr. Gary Player on the Stick and Hack Show here in mere moments. And the staff and crew of Stick and Hack are very, very excited to have him gracing the show today. All right, so that kind of lends itself to a story, Mike.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, Jim Valvano, college basketball coach and humanitarian, had many moments that he was known for, including running around the floor like a madman looking for somebody to hug in 1983 after the NCAA championships. 10 years after that, Thursday, March 4th, 1993, he spoke at the first ESPY Awards at Madison Square Garden, presented by ESPN. And while accepting the inaugural Arthur Ashe Courage and Humanitarian Award, he announced the creation of the V Foundation that very night. It's a cancer research foundation, an organization dedicated to finding the cure. He announced that the foundation's motto would be, "Don't give up, don't ever give up." And his speech included this statement: "To me, there are three things we should do every day. Number one is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number two is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number three is you should have your emotions move to tears, whether that's happiness or joy. But if you think about it, if you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day." Now, you remember that speech?
I do. Very well.
Now, were you watching it live? You were 3 years old, so.
I was a little older.
But they have played that. You were 14.
Yeah,
That's right.
14,
You were 3 when he was running around like a madman. That's right. Got my dates mixed up here. His speech was legendary, and he closed by saying this: "Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind. It cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul. And those three things carry on forever." Now, I tell this story, Mike, first of all, because it's special to me, because my father loved Jimmy V, and I share those moments with him, thinking about that night on the ESPYs. But his advice has stayed with me for many years, and from time to time, I'm reminded of his words. I'm also reminded of another set of rules that are echoed from our guest, Mr. Gary Player. He said, "Eat as half as you eat, exercise twice as you do, laugh 3 times as much as you do, and have unmeasured love in your heart." Now that, Mike, is a good day as well. We welcome in to the Stick and Hack Show, Mr. Gary Player. Mr. Gary Player, it is an honor and privilege, sir, to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Adam and Mike. Looking forward to talking to you, although I don't understand a damn thing you're saying, but I'm looking forward to it.
Well, get in line.
It's a long, long line.
I would be remiss if I didn't do your bio. And if you don't know Mr. Player, shame on you, but I'm going to do it anyway. Mr. Player is one of the most successful golfers in history. Tied for 4th in major championship victories with 9, along with Arnie Palmer and Jack Nicklaus. He is often referred to as one of the big 3. Along with Gene, Ben, Jack, and Tiger, he is one of only 5 players to win golf's career Grand Slam. He completed the Grand Slam in 1965 at the age of 29, and now he finds himself at the age of 85 on our show. Sir, thank you very much for your time today.
It's an absolute pleasure. Looking forward to talking to you.
All right, so there's a video of you running on a treadmill, and it's on your Instagram, and you are running as fast as I've ever seen anybody run, number one. And your caption on that Instagram post was, "It's important to train your mind and your body to move fast as you age. Don't give yourself limits. Keep working and keep moving." And that's how you've lived your life for a long, long time, isn't it?
Well, I'm 85 years of age now, and I really, honestly, you can kid yourself, but I wake up and honestly, my mind thinks I'm 50. It's interesting. The mind is a fascinating thing. The mind is what determines everything that happens in our life, whether you're happy or you're sad or you're positive or you're negative. And this is what you've got to work on, is that mind, which I do every single day. But I eat well, and I exercise. I keep my body moving all the time. Now, my genes aren't all that great. My mother died of cancer when I was 9. My sister died of cancer. My daughter had her breast removed. My wife right now has pancreatic cancer. So there's been a lot of cancer in our family tree. But I think if you exercise and you eat properly, which is easier to get a camel through the eye of a needle than to get the average day man to do these things. Because you live in America, the greatest country ever. You live in a land of milk and honey. And that is to your detriment. It's such a great country. I've never seen anything like it. When I hear young people saying this is a bad country, I just shudder. I just wish I had the money of a Bill Gates that I could take one student from every university and send them around the world to these countries, and they will come back and never say America is a bad country again. They will kiss the ground. They will be so grateful. So there are a lot of things, and life is great. You have the choice. You can be happy or you can be sad. It's amazing how many people choose sad. Not me. Life is great. I love people. I love my work. I went to the golf club yesterday. I went and had breakfast. I went to every single table. I didn't know the guys. And said hello. They appreciated it so much. You know, you have a choice in life. And I was listening to the things that Jim had to say in his life. They were very true. If you laugh a lot, the endorphins are a youthful self. Now think about when you're crying or miserable as a comparison to laughing. It's a vast difference. And keep laughing, man. It makes you young. And life is great. And it's only when you realize that you don't have your health, that's when you realize how great life is. And one of the things they've got to do in America, they've got to make children exercise. They've got to teach. I don't think there's a school in America that teaches children how to eat properly. You've got to teach the people and give them the right education. This is such a phenomenal country. And you've got to look after it, because all the great empires of the world collapsed by taking it for granted. As if you think you're too good at a sport and you don't have to practice, or you've got a business and you don't work harder, you're going to lose. And if you don't look after this country, you're going to lose. Everybody's got to play their part.
Good luck, Mike, asking a question after that. Good luck.
Exactly. Mr. Player, you're famous for many things, but one of them is that you're constantly working on your golf swing and trying to learn about the golf swing. Are you still learning about the golf swing at your age?
I'm not really learning much anymore. At 85, I've tried every conceivable thing. But the best player I ever saw was Ben Hogan. And he's the only man I ever met that knew the swing from A to Z. Now, I met a lot of people that know the swing from A to W or A to Y. But Ben Hogan, and he mentioned a couple of things to me that enabled me to win 18 majors and 165 tournaments. Now, that was not the only reason, but it played a part. You know, to be a champion is a puzzle. You've got a lot of pieces in the puzzle. Determination, loving adversity, keeping in shape, being happy, being positive. All these things go to making a champion. And I think the greatest leader of all time was Winston Churchill. And young people come to me regularly. How do I become a champion? Men and women. I said, I can't tell you that. It's a thing called it. And what is it? No analyst or psychiatrist can tell you what it is. It's a divine gift. I've only seen in my 85 years about plus minus 12 players that have had it. But Winston Churchill so aptly said, when they asked him about his success, he said the height that great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but while his opponents were sleeping, he was toiling upward in the night. And that's what you got to do. You've got to outwork the other guy, man. It doesn't matter what it is. If you want to be a good husband, you got to put effort into it. If you want to be a great athlete, if you want to be a great role model, whatever, businessman, whatever it is, sportsman, look at Tom Brady, 43 years of age. Of course, for me, you know, I hear people, well, it is old for football, but that's also in the mind. He's proving it. He's proving it. It is not old that you can do it. But he went to look at the football field before he went on it. How many people do that?
Right.
Right.
And he's seen a football field for 30 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. What was he looking for? I don't know. You see, he's got that thing called it. I don't know what it is. He's doing something in his mind to prepare himself And the mind, honest to goodness, when I think when I played and had to play and travel over here, 40 hours, no jets, 6 children, and being away from home and playing against Arnie when the people pulled for him. Obviously, they pulled for him, but I loved that. I loved that. They also were very kind to me, very kind. But Arnold was an icon, and in my eyes, he was an icon as well. But when I played against him, I did a lot of meditation, preparing myself for it, and said, how I'm going to beat him. And I beat him more times than he beat me. And I said, I'm going to put my mind and train my mind for tomorrow when they're screaming and pulling for him. So, the mind is always something we've got to prepare ourselves for. And what we got to do, we've all got to keep America the greatest country in the world, we've all got to love it, and we've all got to work hard, and we've got to work together. I've never seen such division in my life in this country, and you've got to watch out, because the country, as I say, many of the great empires crumbled, and nothing happens without dedication. And this is such a phenomenal country. I beg America to work hard at keeping it. So,
let's talk about your friendships. Golf is known for how it bonds people together, and great friends for lifetimes have been made on the golf course. And you can make a friend immediately just by sharing a round of golf. And it's a crazy sport and a leisure activity where you can go and meet a complete stranger and play golf. But you have, and the easy friends that you've made are Arnie and Jack. There's no doubt about that. But you've made hundreds and hundreds of friends through the game of golf. What did those friendships and relationships mean to you today?
I came from a very poor family. My father never made £100 or more than £100 a month in his life. He left school after 4 years of education to support a family. 8,000 feet down in the ground every day for 35 years. My mother died at 9. My brother went to fight in the World War with the Americans, and my brother-in-law at 17 years of age. My brother-in-law never came back. So there have been a lot of hardships, and my mind sometimes moves a little faster. Just refresh my memory with the question. Just refresh my memory.
Yeah, just the friendships you've made over the course of your golf career.
Yeah. So, yes, sorry. So, having traveled more miles than any human being that's ever lived now, and the friends I've made all around the world has been incredible. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a lady sweeping the airport. I go up to her and I put my arm around and say, gee, it's so good to see you keeping this airport so clean. Thank goodness we've got you. Make people feel important. Give them love. If they give you hate, give them love back. I mean, I know when I got the Medal of Freedom this year, the number of people, I shouldn't be thinking of the bad people that criticize me for taking the medal. You can't believe the hatred that people have in this world, but you mustn't let that override. You must think of the good people and the good things in life, and you've got to continue to give love. And I played golf with every president of the United States, or I've been dinner or met them in the last 65 years, whatever it is. How blessed can you be, a poor guy coming from a small country, and to play with guys like Arnold and Jack and have them as your friend, visiting my ranch, visiting their homes, flying with them in their jets, having debates. They tell me I was crazy to do weight training. Now I can play and they can't. So, the big thing is you've got to, this has been a friendship, and a friendship with this great country. I mean, I've got a stack of autographs here I've got to sign every day. And when I get an autograph, I sign it, and I also send a little message. Love you, man. Take care. It's just fantastic. How blessed can you be?
Yeah.
Mr. Player, there's a story that I did some research, some op-ed research here, and hopefully this story is true. I was told that in your early days, your father was one of the first people to say to you in a room, the first people you say hello to are the service staff. The first people that you shake their hands and welcome them before you get to the sponsors, before you get to the award presenters, before you do anything. You walk around that room to this day, and you echoed it a second ago, and you say hello, and you thank them for their service, for helping, whether it's a banquet or what have you, is that it sounds like that's how you just live your life. But that advice was given to you by your father.
Well, you don't do everything that's 100% correct in your life, and you have many faults like many people. And it'd be remiss of me not to admit that we all have weaknesses, but I try my best. And, you go to a dinner, and there are 500 people there, and these waiters and waitresses are running around, and people take it for granted. No, you're not supposed to have that. So you've got to say a little word like thank you. When a dog sits up, you don't kick him in the rear end, you give him a bone or a biscuit or a cookie or something. So the thing is that, you've got to learn to say thank you to people. And, life is so great. Yeah. And you can make yourself very, very happy or very, very unhappy. Man, I choose happy. I want to tell you.
Well, you're giving me some advice. I have to be nicer to producer Shane. I think that's what this entire thing is about. You've designed golf courses all over the world. And I didn't realize, and Mike, you would probably be surprised as well, how many courses and pieces of property are all over this land that has been designed by Mr. Player and his staff and his crew. Do you ever think about all the rounds that have been played on your courses, all the business deals, all the friendships, all the jokes? Do you ever think about just really the experience of those that play your courses all over the world?
Absolutely. And, having being a farmer, I have great sensitivity for water, the soil, the trees. I see golf courses now are cutting all their trees down. I mean, I just shudder when I hear that, because all the best golf courses in the world are tree-lined. And you cannot cut the trees down, something that people 100 years ago planted with great enthusiasm. A committee comes along now and just says, cut it down. Some city slicker who lives in an apartment in New York has no idea about nature. Right. So, it's, but golf has been an incredible sport because unlike every other sport, basically, I mean, here at 85, I've broken my age 3,000 times and I can still play very well. I can still shoot par at 85 years of age. I'm full of energy. Other sports, well, take the NFL. You're lucky if you play for 4 years. And then you're lucky if you can walk. I mean, Tom Brady is a genius. He's an exception. All right, he plays in a position where you're not going to get hammered to the degree that other people are. But still, golf is this amazing sport. And if I play with a tennis match with Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, they can give me 40 love start. I'll never win a point in a year unless they fall down. Now, golf, I can play folks with Adam and Mike are two big hackers, and they can beat me, folks.
No truer words have ever been spoken.
If I give them enough strokes, they can beat me. And that's the great thing, that you can play forever. And my income today is better than it was when I was world champion. Now, you tell me another sport that could happen. Unless you're Michael Jordan and you have a sneaker contract in China for $100 million or more, whatever it is, coming in every year. That's pretty nice.
Not the worst.
Mr. Player, the latest potential decisions around equipment and the golf ball, have sparked a lot of debate in the golf world. How do you feel about that?
I think that technology is essential for the average man playing golf. But for professional golf, they've got to cut the ball back 50 yards because the golf courses are going to be obsolete. And when people invented golf and the way it's progressed, nobody ever thought. I mean, even when I started, there were no people doing weight training, guys. I was the only one, a man called Frank Stranahan and myself. And even Arnold and Jack criticized the living daylights out of me. You cannot do weight training and play golf. Now you've got guys training like Bruce Koepka, 250-pound bench press. I'm 85. I'm in the gym. I'm running flat out. I'm doing deadlifts and all kinds of things at 85. And now we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen a big man come into golf yet. Now these football players are going to wake up and say, listen, what the hell am I playing football for where I'll never be able to walk? I can play golf and I can play until I'm 50 and go on a senior tour. I can actually have an income coming in till 60 years of age, and I'm going to have a sport forever. These guys are coming to golf. They're going to hit the ball 480-500 yards. I don't know how far the ball can go. If the ball can go that far, that's how they're going to hit it. So what's going to happen? It's a joke what's going to happen to golf course. So we never visualize this kind of thing happening. So you've got to make adjustments and bring the ball back for pro golf.
Do you think that the people are annoyed by those types of conversations because it's only affecting 1%, if not the 0.5% of golfers out there, which are the professionals, and that guys like us, it doesn't affect us one way or the other? I hit it 235, and if they pull the ball back, I've got problems. So is this just for professionals that you're saying this, or do you think in general golf has an equipment problem and has a bigger issue on its hands?
Hey Mike.
Yes.
Can Adam hear well? How's his hearing?
I've tried to get through to him, Gary.
I just want to clarify for the record. I want to make sure I'm hearing right.
I just hit him for the amateur golfer. You don't cut it back.
Right,
you leave everything as it is.
Good.
But for the pro, you cut it back. It's all right, Adam. Everybody needs a mulligan.
Right, and I just took one right there, and I appreciate you calling it out here live on the show. There's nothing that this is like. It's like Don Rickles on the program here all of a sudden. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. All right, let's move to the history of golf, and you've said some names in some of your answers that just the fact that you knew these golfers and have had these experiences is remarkable, and I would love to hear these stories. But we talk a lot about the history of golf in the United States, the history of golf in the UK, but South Africa golf and the history there is unbelievable. And I was researching some stuff this week. Bobby Locke is really where, and you, as well as many others, but Bobby Locke was really one of those golfers in your homeland that made major strides for golf. Tell me about him, what you know about him, what you know about his career, and just growing up in South Africa and how golf was even a sport.
Well, we know that America and Europe are inundated with history, obviously Europe a little bit more. But South Africa is a remarkable country. It's a second America, really. The standard of living, we have the best climate, we have great golf courses, we have the best game reserves in the world, we have the best beaches in the world. The climate is phenomenal, as I say. The food is good. It's a great country. So if you think what South Africa have achieved, 23 major championships, more than any country in the world other than the United States post-war. I mean, it's remarkable. A small country, 23 majors. So that has a lot to do with we have good coaches and we have good golf courses. So I'm proud, but I'm also shocked that a country like that could produce so many. But Bobby Locke, he's never rated in the top 50 golfers of all time. He's definitely in the top 10. They have a man, Byron Nelson, who they rate up there. He would have eaten Byron Nelson for breakfast. Bobby Locke is the best putter the world ever saw. No question. There's no debate about it. Now, Tiger Woods is a phenomenal putter, but he's putting on snooker tables. We putted on junk. They didn't have proper mowers. They didn't rake the bunkers. They didn't have mowers to cut the fairway short. There's spike marks on the green. Now, this is another world. It's a different game. You cannot make comparisons between now and yesteryear. It's not possible. They're nowhere near the same condition. You've got a golf ball that doesn't slice and hook as much. You've got metal heads that hit the ball 50 yards further. No, but Bobby Locke he won 4 British Opens. Now, he came over here. You guys wouldn't know this. He won 7 out of the first 11 tournaments, and then they barred him. They barred him from playing. Now, that kind of thing cannot happen today. And we were playing in the Tam O'Shanter in Chicago, and he just played Sam Snead in South Africa, 22 matches. They tied 2. Snead won 2, and Locke won 16. So Snead came over here and said, listen, guys, there's a guy coming from South Africa. He's not very much of an athlete, but you back him in all these tournaments and you'll make a lot of money. Clayton Hefner backed Locke against Hogan, Snead, Nelson, and all these guys and built a golf course in Charlotte, backing Locke. And I was standing there, and Lloyd Mangrum, who was a tough cookie, came up to him, and I was standing there, and he said, hey, muffin face. He had a round face. He said, muffin face. He says, Sam Snead says you can play. would you like to play against me in this tournament? My Cadillac against your Cadillac. So Bobby Locke put his hand in his face like that. He said, yes, I'll play you for a Cadillac. Locke beat him by 17 shots. And to Lloyd's credit, he came and gave him the keys for the Cadillac. And Bobby Locke turned around to me and said, he called me captain. He said, Captain, I'm sure pleased I beat him because I don't own a Cadillac. So I've seen a lot of guys. I played with Gene Sarazen. I played with Tommy Armour. I played with guys way, way back. And they've always been superstars and great players in the sport. I don't use the word superstar in athletics. The word superstar is used too easily. Tom Brady, superstar. Jim Brown, I remember Jim Brown, he'd run through a wall. Superstar. You know, you can't use the word superstar in golf. A guy wins 4 majors, they call him a superstar. I believe you've got to win 6 majors to be a superstar. Now, that's my opinion. Not everybody. Less people would agree with me than my opinion.
The sport today versus and the names today, do you think that in 20, 30, 40 years, we will say the same things about Mickelson and Woods and Spieth and Johnson and all these guys, the same as you talk about the big names from your day?
I would hope so. It depends. They're still in their infancy, not Tiger, but the others are still in their infancy and starting their profession and their lives. So we have to wait and see. But they're wonderful young men playing. What I like about golf is they all do something for charity. But remember that Tiger Woods, you know, we had a debate the other day, which is fascinating for your viewers. I said to this man who's an authentic on sport, I said to him, tell me, who do you think is the best known athlete in the world? Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, or Tiger Woods? And he said, without a question, Michael Jordan. Now, Michael Jordan in America and a lot of countries is known as the best. But I think across the planet, Tiger Woods is the best known athlete that ever lived. I really do. I mean, because he played everywhere. He went around the world and played all around the world. And in golf, you must remember, it's a completely international sport. And they have got a golf tournament every single week of the year, other than on holidays, around the world. Every week. And what Tiger did was phenomenal. He never had his problems. Look, his record will never compare to Jack's, in my opinion. I don't think he'll reach Jack's heights. You never know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he does. Be great for the game. But if he hadn't had the problems he had, he would have done things that have never been achieved in sport. But ifs don't count. I always tell I've got 22 grandchildren. I said, please don't talk about ifs and ands. It's what goes down on the paper. Don't tell me, so-and-so was a great golfer if he hit the ball further, or if he putted well, or if he was a good bunker player. That's not in the record book. You want to judge the best in any sport? Look on paper. Just look on paper. The paper never lies. People lie because they had a love for a certain person. People lie like crazy. And, you know, you get these people they mention about, they judge the superstars of the world, but they don't judge well. They don't look at the paper.
Gary Player is the guest here on the Stick and Hack Show. Mr. Player, you talked a lot about how golf and business and your post-golf life is so important for a lot of these younger players that are coming up today. But for you specifically, your post-golf career is just as successful, if not more, when it comes to your philanthropic work, when it comes to humanitarian work, when it comes to your course design. What are you most proud of today that's outside of your on-paper record for golf?
I think raising money for people that are desperate. We've built aid centers in China with the help of sponsors. We got the, Coca-Cola were helpful, Berenberg Bank, Rolex. Rolex is a phenomenal company too. They help largely. We built home centers in London for homeless people that were sleeping in the street. Now they've got all the facilities. Some of those guys who were sleeping in the street have become lawyers and doctors as such. Such a wonderful feeling. As I say, aid centers in China. I've built schools in South Africa. Oh, there's many people in South Africa still call me a racist. You see, it doesn't matter what you do in life. It doesn't matter what you do, you'll have people that want to destroy you. This is the sad thing about the human being. I read a great statement the other day. It said, look for the best and praise. Look for the best and praise. What do people do? They always want but this, but that. And they criticize people for having a little thorn in their eye and they've got a log in theirs. You know, you've got to give love. Nobody's perfect. Flip-flopping is a good thing. I hear people say, oh, this politician flip-flops. Thank God he flip-flops. I wouldn't want anybody to stick to the same methods and ideas they had all their lives. Life change. What is the word? Change is the price of survival. What you thought when you were younger, you don't think now. We must flip-flop. We must change for the better.
Mr. Player, what do you tell a kid who's picking up a golf club for the first time about the journey they're about to go on?
Well, first of all, I say it's nothing like you think it is. The odds of you making it are 1,000 to 1 against you, maybe even 1,000,000 to 1. Now, that's bad odds. I said, you got to understand, it's a lonely life. This game of golf is so tough, it's going to knock you to the ground. And can you get up and fight again? And it's going to knock you down again. It's a lonely life. You're going to be away from your family. You're going to be away from your country. You're going to live in a hotel room. It's not what you think it is. You either have that passion to succeed and do well, but most people who start quit. A handful of people make it, and it's up to you. It's not how good you swing the club. Swinging the club is not the thing. It's what's encompassed in your life, what it involves. I mean, it's nothing like you think it is, my friend. Getting on airplanes, I've flown around the world, as I said, more miles than any human being ever, living in hotels, being away from your family, time changes, sitting in that airplane. That ain't no fun. But right. I've made it fun. Because this is the talent that I had. And this is what I had to use. But man, would the average person like it? No. And they don't realize it. They just think you play golf every day and the money's pouring in.
Absolutely.
Is that not true?
I sent Arnold an email. I sent Arnold an email the other day. I said, listen, I called him Muffy. I said, Muffy, make sure you got a gym up there because you never believed in gyms. Make sure there's a gym. I'll be coming and joining you soon. And make sure it's a Gary Player design course. I got a rude message back. To hell with you. It's an Arnold Palmer course. And I must concede I'm now using the gym.
What's the one story that you never get tired of telling, no matter where you are, no matter who's around? What's that? And I'm sure there's 1,000. And so forgive me for the denseness of this question, but what is that one story that your go-to?
Well, I have many, many stories, but I'm going to tell you a story that, well, some of your prim and proper listeners won't enjoy very much. But
we don't have any of those. We have none of those. So let it fly.
Trevino the other day says to me, he says, can you believe it? I go to my toilet and there's a mat in front of the toilet. So I call my wife over because we have different toilets. I said, what are you putting the mat there in front of my toilet for? She says, Lee, you're peeing on the floor now and on the seat. And she says, now you're starting to pee on the toilet paper. So I had to do something. He says, Gary, he says, when you get old, this is how the guy thinks. He says, when you get old, your private parts, it's hard to get it out and have a pee. And when you got to go, you got to go. So I just pee all over the place. And he said, I didn't want to tell her that. He says, it's like a turtle pulling its neck in the shell. Hey, to some of your ladies on your show, please forgive me for telling that story.
I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Player. That was not the story I thought you would tell with that question. But I'm glad you did.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
Mr. Player, it is a honor and a joy to have you on the program. We could listen to you talk, obviously, for hours. I know you've been gracious enough with your time. We're going to do the takeaway notes here with Mike and I, and then we're going to come back to you in a second, and we're going to play a game called Sticker Hack. Are you going to hang out for that?
I'm going to do that as long as your man there up on the left-hand corner who looks like a great guy. He's got a great sense of humor. He's laughing. tell him to play the song at the end, Forever Young.
Oh, Forever Young. We've got requests.
Absolutely.
All right, that'll cost us $1,000, but yeah, we'll play.
Absolutely.
We'll play Rod Stewart, Forever Young. All right, we'll be back with you in just a second, Mr. Player. Now it's the takeaway notes now, Mike. You and I don't know how we even get to that part of a takeaway from an interview with Mr. Gary Player.
Amazing.
Your first takeaway.
Just how down to earth and a wonderful, warm man that he is, and I just can't even put into words how wonderful this was, and just wish him all the luck in the world, and I'm just feel privileged to have had some time with him.
I agree 100%. Takeaway for me is just his zest for life still today, and I think that is obviously his personality, but his experiences, his life, what he's accomplished, the things that he's still doing today. I mean, he is working as hard now as he probably ever has with all the things. If you go to his website, GaryPlayer.com, there's 6 or 8 different venues that you can see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Whether it's his humanitarian and philanthropic work, whether it's his course design, he's got it all right now. And my takeaway for talking to a legend is how easy it was to talk to a legend. And for that, I'm thankful, because this was one of those interviews where you think, for days and days that it's coming up.
Yeah.
And you try to kind of, back to his earlier point, trick your mind into, hey, this is just another man. But he's Mr. Gary Player. Let's be honest here. So that's my takeaway, is how easy that was and how easy he makes it. And I've heard that from time and time again from people that have been around him and been near him, that he's just a sweet, kind man, and he is indeed. All right, so you're back, Mr. Player. It is now time for Stick or Hack. All right? Now,
Okay.
Here are the rules. I'm going to say the topic today for Stick or Hack, Mr. Gary Player, is toppings on a burger. Okay? So stick is pretty good, and we're good. And hack is not so much. Okay, so you're going to tell us stick or hack as I go through this list of 10. All right, and I'm going to start. I'm going to go Mike, then you, and then myself. All right, we'll go in order. Actually, let's go in order of major championships.
Okay,
we'll go Mr. Player.
We'll go. Yeah, how about that?
You,
good idea.
And then me.
Well done.
Well, between us, we won 18 majors.
Yes, we have, sir. Yes, we have. It's a pretty damn good group here.
It feels lopsided.
All right. Stick or hack, toppings on a burger with Mr. Gary Player. And we'll go to you, sir, first. Bacon.
Big hack.
Ooh.
Go ahead and argue him.
I knew this is where this was going to go, because I am not a healthy eater.
Right.
Bacon's a stick.
Okay,
stick
just be truthful. Be truthful. Don't worry about the guest.
Yes.
I say stick as well. Bacon is a stick topping. Peanut butter.
Stick.
Ooh,
Nice.
stick as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stick. 100%. Fried egg.
Stick.
Yeah, stick.
Stick.
Yeah.
Avocado.
Big stick.
Yes.
So,
Agreed.
as I understand that's a superfood.
It is.
So
Yes, it's a superfood.
yeah,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
which I had to look up, and I'm going to call it a hack because, I'm good. I don't like anything green. Mushrooms. No, excuse me. Mr. Player first. Thank you. Major champion,
Yep.
and then
Excuse
you
me?
can talk.
My apologies.
Stick.
Mushrooms are a stick.
Stick for me too.
Yeah,
yes.
stick for me. Mustard. Toppings on a burger.
Well, for me, hack.
Stick for me.
Hack.
Yeah.
Mustard is the devil's juice.
Yeah.
Pineapple. Toppings on a burger. Stick or hack?
Stick. Pineapple. Oh. Good.
I'm
Do it.
I'm out.
Do
I'm
it.
hack.
Yeah,
I'm
hack.
hack on pineapple.
Hack on pineapple as well.
I'm
Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza or burgers or anywhere near anything other than a fruit buffet that you don't touch. Green chilies.
Stick.
Stick for me too. Yeah.
Surprisingly, I would go green chilies. I just need them
Yeah.
Diced up. I don't want to. I don't. They
Like
got to be really
yeah,
diced.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Barbecue sauce.
Hack.
I'm gonna go hack.
Yeah, I'm stick. You put the onion straws on it.
No, I'm way out on that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Mr.
It's
Player,
too much.
What do you think? Onion straws, barbecue sauce. You're still a no go.
No, I don't eat barbecue sauce. But
Okay.
I
I
don't.
see.
No, What about bread? Why don't you talk about bread, which is everybody eats?
I try to avoid bread, actually.
I don't.
I don't.
But all right, let's go. Last one here. Sticker hack. Toppings on a burger.
Let me say, bread is heck.
What's that?
Bread is heck.
See?
Bread is heck.
Bread is big time. Big time heck.
No.
Absolutely agree.
Well, this is our first disagreement, sir. Blue cheese.
For me, heck.
Stick for me.
But I like cheese.
I love blue cheese. Yeah.
Blue cheese is heck.
Yes,
You like it?
I love blue cheese.
I love blue cheese as well.
Yeah.
Blue cheese is a stick topping on a burger. Oh, there you have it, everybody. That is Mr. Gary Player on the Stick and Hack Show. Sir, thank you very, very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed the program.
I enjoyed it immensely. You know what? Because it was happy, man. Happiness is contagious.
That's
Absolutely.
right. That's what we try to bring every single day is happiness and a little bit of confusion, but that's okay. Continued success and congratulations on 85 years of incredible life. It is truly great to have you on the show, and we do this every episode. I have to do it. Mike and I will be down at some point this year, and we look forward to playing golf with you.
That's probably a big no.
There he goes.
Like, nope, no way.
There he goes.
I wouldn't know where to stand with you guys. I wouldn't be safe anywhere.
Well, that
statement.
That has gone downhill quickly. Mr. Gary Player, GaryPlayer.com. We appreciate his time and effort here on the show. Mike, that's it for us. There's nothing else I can say. Great show.
We've reached the pinnacle.
Proud of you, and you guys have a great one. Talk to you later.
Peace out, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we're done. This has been the Stick and Hack Show. Go to stickandhack.com to become a free member of the world's greatest golf club without the course.